Hello, I'm Alan Miller. This is Sherlock. I want to talk about puppy misbehavior with you personally, which is play biting too much or jumping on you and scratching and barking and all of that. I'm going to talk about a bunch of different ways to mitigate this issue, but the first one is I like using Martingale collars. Okay, this is basically just a collar that tightens down and you can't back out of it and it doesn't choke the dog. It's a puppy safety collar. I'm going to put one on Sherlock right now by putting the collar on me, and I am going to use food to get him to hold still, which is difficult. And I'm going to keep the collar snug fit. This doesn't get too tight, it doesn't choke. The reason I'm showing you this is with puppy play biting, I find that most of the time people are way too permissive with their puppies, especially puppies that are very hyper and very socially forward or socially driven. I like to first teach my dogs go to their place. The place could be anything you want. I want to have toys for him to chew on, and I want him to understand to go to this place. So I'm going to spend a couple of minutes every day with my food teaching him à ta place, good. He doesn't have to lay down or do anything special on it, but he has to recognize that when I tell him to go to it, à ta place, that he has to go to it and touch it. It doesn't have to be raised. It doesn't have to be gigantic. It just has to be something that I don't care if he starts destroying it. So I usually use an old towel or something like that. The reason I'm talking about this is in the dog world, if my puppy starts misbehaving, we like using the leash a lot, but I pull it towards myself when he starts, let's say, biting me too much. Uh-uh-uh. I'll pull it towards myself. Now I'm baiting him into this, obviously, but if I want him to stop, I know it seems counterintuitive to pull the dog towards you, but it's just how the dog thinks, and we have to use a little bit of opposing reflex to stop the dog from this biting behavior. So if he starts to bite too much, quiet, enough, quit, no. This is how we spank in the dog world. I'm not going to ever tell you to hit, yell, or scream. I don't get into deep psychology with dogs. They're animals, they're not people, and you're never going to have your dog watch Lassie to learn something. So I am using the leash more than the average person. He's going to stay with me as a young, untrained dog on leash. So if he starts to get too wild, tighten, and I say no. So let's move away from that. Let's say he does not have a leash on and he's biting too much. One of the things I want you to try is taste. Get bad taste onto your hands, pump it on your hand, present it to him. This could be bitter apple, it could be Vicks Vapor Rub, it could be vinegar, it could be peppermint oil, it could be lemon juice, something that's not dangerous, but he doesn't want it in his mouth. You are not going to chase him around with it. You're going to sneak it onto your hands when he's distracted or as he's biting on you. And when he tastes it, you're going to say no or enough or quit. So these are two of the more effective ways of handling biting issues. A more personal way for some of you working dog people is going to be Sherlock Assis, is going to be taking and using when he bites, either grabbing his face and holding him still or dumping him upside down. Or one of the things I've done pretty successfully is simply holding his bottom jaw a little bit longer than he wants you to, or sometimes just pinching a little bit, or some people like to hold the mouth shut. I don't personally like that one, but occasionally I have to hold him still and pin him down. So I might have to take and force him to lay down and just hold him until his little frustration, hyper thing goes away. Most of you are going to find it's a lot easier to use the leash and the taste deterrent than it is to do almost any other method of doing this. A lot of the products we demonstrate and use ourselves are linked in the description box below. Please hit the like and subscribe buttons. That way you will get notified when we post new content. Thanks for watching.